If your plan to win a graduate role in 2026 is to submit 50 applications and hope to hear back for one of them, you're booking your ticket to hundreds and hundreds of wasted hours and thousands of potential dollars in salary. And the reality is that mistake holds around 90% of graduates away from their dream graduate role. In this video, I'm going to be explaining why focus is the only strategy that works in the Australian energy sector and how you can use it to all but guarantee your career starts this year. Hello everyone, my name's Jack and welcome back to the channel. Over the past 3 years, I've gone from a clueless country kid studying engineering to a full-time senior engineer working in the Australian energy sector. I fumbled and failed a lot along my journey, so I dedicate this channel to teaching the strategies and tips that I've found that work so that you can implement them in your career to make it successful. Now in today's video, we're going to be addressing something that I see a lot in especially university students looking to bridge into the industry that are really strategizing around how they're going to apply for roles, what they're going to apply for, etc. Now, the crux of this problem is what I call the spray and pray trap. Effectively, the anxiety that everyone faces, I know because I've been there. You almost get to the March, April, May, when the programs start opening, you think about submitting your applications and, you feel the need to submit an application to all 50 openings just so with the hope of receiving one reply back, getting an interview and winning that role, right? But what if I told you the hard truth that sending 50 generic CVs is actually lazier than actually knuckling down, identifying what you want to focus on, diluting and concentrating all of your resumes into those 3 to 5 tailored applications and then sending those? What if I told you that that would be much more beneficial for your career? Because the reality is that hiring managers can smell a copy-paste application from a mile away. As a hiring manager, and speaking from reading resumes in the past, you can look at an application and say, if this was really for my company, then they would have looked at the job description and mapped it properly, but this just seems boilerplate. And from someone in industry, I'll tell you that in competitive programs where there are up to 8,000 applicants for 30 roles, boilerplate will not stand out. To put this in perspective, think of that hiring manager, right? So they are responsible for screening graduate applications and collecting potentially 60 to 80 that will come into interview for, let's say, 30 roles, right? Effectively, everyone within that pool is qualified. They have or they are projected to complete their engineering qualifications to make them be able to be a graduate engineer. Everyone has that education. That is the primary prerequisite of any graduate program, right? There are a Bachelor of Engineering or an Honours of Engineering, whatever. So the question then becomes, how in your applications can you show to the hiring manager who potentially hasn't met you before why you're above others? And so it's all about reframing from the perspective of the hiring manager, in that they aren't looking for the smartest student because they know everyone's smart. 6,000 people who are applying are smart. There are a lot of engineers out there. What they're actually looking for is who can apply or who is most suited to apply their historical credible competence to the specific role and type of engineer that their company is looking for. Because ultimately the hiring manager, that's their almost their sieve that they're going to run the applications through to put it to the senior managers who will actually be sitting on the interviewing panel. And so the key mindset shift that I'm really trying to convey here is that in these scenarios, you aren't begging for a job. That is not the translation that you want to make. You are quite literally providing an application that demonstrates your proficiency to solve the problem that this organization is hiring a graduate for. And so based upon that, the solution becomes pretty simple. Instead of diluting your pool from 50 people, really take that 50, concentrate it down into 3 to 5 of your dream companies that, all goes well, you're going to be working for these companies, really dream, and then concentrating your effort on tailoring your applications, focusing your applications to meeting the needs of that company. Instead of 1 hour on 10 applications, tweaking a few words, hoping that that'll win the hiring managers over and you'll win an interview, spend 10 hours on one application. I can almost guarantee you that that will reap so much more reward. And with a specific industry insider example, by researching who your hiring managers are and who they've worked closely with in the past, and then identifying projects and then talking to them about those projects, you're naturally adhering to what they are most proud about themselves. So you develop that connection. That's an easy in. Learning to leverage networks like this in the Australian energy sector is the key to winning. The reality is the Australian energy sector is very small. Although it seems big, the network is very tight-knit and everyone knows everyone. And by tightening down your focus into specific channel of people, specificity becomes competence. The reality is that as a graduate, you commonly don't know specifically what you want to do. However, you do know your strengths, you know your interests, you know your career ambition, and nominally that is enough to really tailor down and funnel in on those 3 to 5 opportunities that you want to focus on, which becomes through applying your, opportunities, your personal brand, and expanding your network in that direction. You quickly reframe yourself as a competent individual within that subsector. And by participating more in that community, you can mention specific energy challenges. So for example, if I was really interested in applying for a couple of distribution companies, researching how DNSPs are really ambitious about becoming a distribution system operator and the benefits and other projects that DNSPs are working on to get there becomes quite a extravagant or hot topic that if you include it in your cover letter and demonstrate your proficiency in that area, you immediately beat the 7 GPA student who just wrote, "I like engineering and I'm qualified." So after watching this video, this is my challenge to you. If you're currently applying for roles or in the future are going to apply for roles, stop right now and follow this strategy. Instead of focusing on that 10, 20, 30 companies, I challenge you to niche down to 3 to 5. From there, spend as much time as you can researching those companies and what graduate roles actually look like within that space. Remember, quality beats quantity in hiring every single time. Now, if you're interested in energy but unsure where you actually sit in the massive energy sector, what niche to actually target, I created a quiz to be able to solve this problem for you. It's completely free. Just check out the pinned comment below in the description of this video. With that being said, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing day and see you in the next one.